Well, I mean, I'm sorry.
Oh, ah. That tea's no good.
That tea? Are you sure, dude? Because I've been drinking that yet all day, and it's fine.
Shit tastes flatter than fucking I don't know what.
Dude, tea isn't flat. It doesn't get flat.
It doesn't taste right, sir.
Okay, the man, then the gun. This is an revolution.
We have a long like that.
Okay, the man, then the gun.
Thank you for the combination of your bed.
On my bed?
Yes, I said thank you for the combination of your bed.
Alright. Pilot the dune. Indeed, sir. You gotta pilot the dunes. Oh. Hold up, Chad. Not quite ready. I'm not ready for all of y'all.
I just woke up at the homies. So many people hit me up.
Oh my
so
God.
many people.
I imagine.
What do you need?
Remember, do you have just a little bit of extra for tonight until I re-up for tomorrow? The harsh shit.
Just weigh it.
Oh well.
So he gave you a little bit done last night. You know. Anyway, up here we're going to drop down to see Mom. We'll do a surprise visit.
A little surprise visitor.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
That's fine with me.
And then we'll go to Oregon City.
Okay. I mean, that's fine with me, because sometime in the next day or two I was wanting to anyway. Because I know my friends wanted me to show this really cool mountain biking little spot that's not too far out. Mm-hmm. And I was like, yeah, either tomorrow or Tuesday, whichever day I'm not saying Mom, basically. So, you know, it's pretty much just like that. I was just like, yeah, one of those days, I'll let you know. Oh, now where was the scale? Because I saw that.
Oh, what was it?
Yeah, what was it?
What do you need?
Let's grab a bud.
Ooh, Jack and Diane. Alright, man.
I don't need really many. I just need
Let's grab butter.
Yeah, just a couple. So. I mean, it's probably not even grams or whatever. So hold on, good stuff.
I'm out of here.
I'm finally out here. Jeez, taking a sleep at my house while I'm working and all this stuff. At least you're not Tyler. You know what? That's the reason why I really don't care that you did that. So at least you're not a fucking Tyler.
Wait, how would that be a Tyler?
Because the fool's like, he stays here till like 4 in the morning, and crashes here and hangs out all day for some fucking reason. Until somebody kicks him out eventually, usually him. His dad doesn't.
I'm a badass.
Well, you're like 6'6". Why do you care?
Now, Harley, when he first met me, he told us, can't remember the word now.
I'm too fucking out of it.
He's just, yeah. I mean, to be fair, I'm partially a potato, so I'm probably going to say something more dumb than accurate.
Yeah.
Alright, man, I'm out of here.
Aww.
Sorry,
no. You just got here.
No, I didn't.
You little whore. You just got here. How dare you?
Alright, have fun. Be safe.
I need to get my dollar's worth out of you. Jeez.
Your dollar's worth is in your bed.
Oh, jeez. Oh, God.
Take that however you want it.
I suppose so, then, huh? Alright, catch you later, dude. Oh, Harley.
They didn't know it was even here.
Yeah, well, that's why I don't care when Harley does it, because he really doesn't want anyone knowing if he's here or not. So he was dropping off a sweatshirt because I let him borrow it for work, and he passed out all day today.
It's okay.
Well, honestly. Yeah, because he's not Tyler about it, where he just kind of sits there creepily, like, in the middle of a room, just with the dopamine looping on his phone. That's a little weird. And that I'm just like, that's why I haven't been really hanging out with him lately. I just don't want to deal with that. It's like, no, thank you. I don't want to.
He goes to somebody's house at 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning.
Unless you have a legit fucking reason, you shouldn't be even like. Even just to hang out 1 or 2 in the morning is just, dude. You just can't. Like, that's just like that's like a boundary, dude.
Mm-hmm.
That's just a social boundary. Like, you have to. Now, if it's like, and you come and hit me up randomly in the middle of 1 in the afternoon, that's different because it's the middle of the day. You should expect me to be up. That was his logic. Like, oh, I expected you to be up because you're always up around this time. Yeah, this ain't the middle of the fucking afternoon, though. Like, I mean, shit. I'm, like, I could treat you like an intruder at this point, you know. It's just like, you know, like, dude. Ignore, please pass on to Stefan. Smoke that fire bush from me. Yep. Harley's leaving already? Well, yeah, because he's got to go home legitimately and actually do shit with his life. So, yeah, he's got to go out and do stuff. So. Huh?
You know what? So keep your hands to yourself. Yeah, I'm test driving a car before I buy it. That's my opinion on marriage.
How do you test drive a, like, shouldn't that just be a good idea in the first place?
Really, I would think so.
Can we test drive this vehicle for a little bit before I consider on actually purchasing it? Because you sound like there was everything good about this, but I want to like write it for myself to ensure that the quality is what you say.
Right, yeah.
So I love how everyone talks about how annoying it is when someone comes to sleep with after he actually. It's like oh my god. Carl thinking he's got these gotchas.
Come on, keep going, don't stop in front of me.
There's a difference between him, like, what, do you think literally every single time it comes over I don't want him over? Like, is that what I'm getting out of you? Is that what you just, like, assume? Because, as much as I bitch about him, that's not true. Like, there's nights where him and I do hit each other up and are like, alright, sure, let's hang out. Though, considering his recent behaviors, I'm making sure that's a little less frequently. You know, so as of lately, I'm a little like, nah, I'm not in the mood. But at the end of the day, like, I'm not going to decline if he wants to hang out, you know, on a more later hour, but I'm keeping that to a minimal at this point. It's 2:30 here on East Coast, so cool. Right, I at this point I already know, like, I know what your time zones are, guys. You don't need to, like, let me know what everyone's time zones are.
Time zone now.
I mean, if it's 11:30 here, of course it's going to be 2:30 on the East Coast, so yeah. I mean, I know at this point, yeah. We don't know what goes off stream, do we? Friendships are complex. They kind of are. Because I want to be, you know, I love Tyler. He's one of my close friends. But geez, like right now, dude, I need to like, you know, take some time from him. He doesn't. I don't know if he realizes it, but he doesn't need to. Honestly, I just need some time, dude. I guess if there's one thing where me and Joe definitely can agree, I guess it is with that. Yeah, because friendships at the end of the day can be pretty complex. And at the same time, that complexity can either be due to the fact that it's a very strong and deep-rooted relationship, or it's full of facades. So, you know, and sometimes a mixture of both. There's some genuine things, but in between all that, there's a little bit of a facade behind there. Just, you know, for whatever reasons, I don't know. So, it varies. I mean, unannounced, even the... You're like, oh, okay. I mean, because, like... Alright, I mean, the thing is, on the ones where he's, like, really unannounced... Like, what am I supposed to... Like, no, okay, not what am I, like... I mean, I don't want to seem like I'm the super big asshole of, like, get the fuck out. And just blunt, and I just, like, unconditionally just gone, go, get out type of thing. Like, I mean, that's just not part of my mentality, really. So it's just like, and at least I know enough that he isn't gonna just, like, plant a bomb in my house or some shit, you know? Like, I at least can have, like, hey, you're not, I know at least enough, you're not gonna probably go do this crazy shit. Or at least, you know, certain things. But I don't know. Right now, there's a lot of trust issue. So that's why I don't want to deal with it. Like, if he showed up unannounced, like, right now, I legitimately be like, dude, like, what are you doing, dude? Like, bruh, I haven't hit you up in a few days, and you just show up unannounced? Dude, like, that's kind of creepy. That's just outright creepy. Go away, dude. Like, that will be a time I'm legitimately, like, just telling him to go away. And I know he'll be like, but we haven't seen each other in a few days. Yeah. But did I hit you up? Did you even? No. So, like, is this autistic as fuck, dude? He literally does not comprehend certain social cliques. He just straight up doesn't comprehend it. They walk 10 miles. If someone showed up and announced after dark, I told my friend to hit the road. Guess I better just don't be a doormat. Yeah, I think that's part of the whole... I think that's like a lot of the whole reflection, just keeping him, you know, kind of at bay for right now. It's just because, like, dude, this motherfucker is just... It's not that he's doing it in any malicious intent, but he's just doing it unknowingly. It's just like, I gotta, like... have him know that I need like a little break, and then after that, just set a little bit of a boundary type of shit. Cause seriously, like, he needs to pretty much disregard any idea of hanging out after 11 o'clock with me at this point. Like, cause unless I hit you up, you know, specifically at this point, because like 11 to 2 is my wind down and I'm ready to kind of go to bed thing. And whenever anyone intrudes in that shit, it's just like, oh, we're going to be up for a long time now.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, like, granted, this is kind of like a part of that, but I mean, this is part of a wind down because I'm not necessarily like trying to go out and go do stuff or anything. I'm just kind of chilling, just doing my own thing. I'm just talking a lot. Instead of, like, playing Fallout or something like that. I don't know.
Right. Yeah, there's another one. Right.
Seriously? I like pushed it all the way out there just so it could do that. And then it pops back over here anyway. I'm actually thinking of a story of when there was a time where Tyler did show up unannounced, but it was actually okay. And it was because he was happened to be in the neighborhood. It was around 11 actually, but there was some gunshots and shit. It was actually because an officer got shot or whatever, because there was a guy who had a warrant out for his arrest, and he had a gun too. So he heard like a bunch of rapid fire rounds, you know, like bam, 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 bam type of thing. At first he heard like a bam, and then return fire, bam, bam, and then just a bunch of bams, you know. So return fire at that point. The officer wasn't killed. In fact, he got out of the hospital pretty much within like 32 hours, something like that. And what else? What else about this interesting little story is all in this? And well, I guess that's pretty much it. It's not really to the story, but it was like one of the few times where he's unannounced, but he actually like, hey, I got a reason why I'm here. I heard gunshots, and I knew you were the closest place where I can, you know, hunker down and not feel a little, you know, in danger. I'm like, that's fine. Like, dude, if I heard gunshots, I'd be going to the closest friend too, you know, and tell them the situation. Like, dude, there's gunshots. I don't want to like be out here right now because of that. So, let me chill for a bit. So. But I feel like we mentioned, like, I love how, like, there was a phase in these streams where we were kind of going off about Logan, but now I'm doing that with Tyler now. Now I have my phase where I'm just ranting about his ass. Dude, but for real, though, like, whenever we had, like, Logan rants, they would go on for fucking ever, too. And they would just be hardcore. They would just be savage. Like, I know there's... Oh, man, there could be just compilations of all the times we've just roasted him, honestly. I mean, at the end of the day, I just kind of see it as, like, just goofs or whatever. I mean, it's just, like... You know, like, even, like, one thing that even was, like, I was able to kind of appreciate about him is, like, you know, despite a little bit my controversial ideas and shit or whatever, or, you know, even... Or my more unconventional views or whatever, right. I don't have them out of any malicious intent or whatever. Like, if I critique somebody or have problems with someone, it's not out of malicious intent, which I tend to agree. Like, I don't try to hold or act out maliciously towards anybody. I don't see a need to do that, really, at all. I've thought about it, but I never really, I can't even think of a time that I've really done that. Like, I can think of the last time that I've thought about it, but never really acted. Obviously, never acted on it. But besides that, oh, yeah. So, at least, I guess, in a way, it's at least good that someone else can at least point out something that's actually accurate about somebody. Because I feel like because I know he likes to try to, like, read into people sometimes and thinks he's really good at it, which, to be fair, I think, I'd say about like 60-70% of the time he can, at least on a general basis, read someone just kind of alright, kind of get, the gist of a scenario of what they were trying to do. But sometimes I just feel like he overreads it a lot, because I think that's a lot due to his hypervigilance. So it's just like, yeah. Whenever, because I know there's been times where he's definitely overread me, I'm like, no. I'm like, you're definitely overthinking me on that one at that point.
Well, everybody missed it. My thing got chewed up Tyler right in there.
I really wish I could have been there, because I seriously would have been on your side. I would have been like, dude, even I told you could chill for, like, no more than an hour, and you stayed here until even after my fucking concert, like, my comedy, like, show was done. It's like, dude. Like, even I told you that. Like, come on. Like, that one, he legitimately should not have had an excuse. He just was dopamine looping off the fact we had Wi-Fi.
Right, yeah.
I knew exactly why. Like, I know he wasn't doing anything malicious or nothing, but,
Right.
you know, like, at least for that specific thing, but
I
still.
don't want to be anybody be in the house, you know, by themselves except for families, you know?
Yeah, and it's just like, bruh, you know, it's just like, come on, man, you know, it's just like, even I told you, like, you know, yeah, you could be here for like 30 minutes or something, 40 minutes to charge your phone a little more, but lock the door when you leave. That's what I said.
Right, yeah.
And he's like, okay, and I'm like, all right, see ya. He's like, all right, see you next time or whatever, you know, because I know he was going to do some more stuff at the weekend, and I was going to have a full week of work or whatever, so I was just like, all right, whatever. And then I got a call in the middle of the show from you. I obviously I wasn't able to answer it.
Did I call you?
I think just once. I think just only one time. And then Tyler texted me off and on, so I think that was at the point he left, and I'm just like, but even then I was just like, dude, even it's like I kind of like, it's like, yeah, bro, I'm a little like, what the heck, because I told, like, that's one is what's really kind of maybe like, okay, dude, this is really starting to get annoying. Like, and getting to the point where, I mean, even like if he was still like the goofball little self that he normally would be, you know, it's just like without even his weird, you know, mentality and rhetoric lately.
Right.
Like, even I would just be like, okay, dude, you and I need to chat about that, but. Now, but if it was that, I'd probably still be hanging out with him. But, you know, if because of that, you know, of his recent mentality and shit, you know, he's been kind of going downhill on that one too. It's just like, I don't even want to hang around that. Because, I mean, you know, especially when he goes on these fucking crazy rampages, you know, about, like wanting to, like, you know, kill different random groups en masse. It's just like, that's just so, like, just outright toxic. It's like, why do I want to be around that? Like, ugh. And I know there's been times he's just like, yeah, I am a bigot. It's just like, dude, why do you think that's a good thing to call yourself? Like, he really makes no sense sometimes. He just really doesn't.
Yeah,
and honestly, the main reason why is just because he's also just a very spurgy autistic fuck, just like I can be at times.
Right.
But he's just more severe about it. It's just like, honestly, that's probably the reason why I give it too much leniency, is because of that shit. And honestly, I mean, I can't continue to let, you know, use that about him, you know, or else he ain't gonna work, or else he won't be able to be working on that. So, I mean, like, he really needs to, like, work on, like, social cues and, like, and stuff like that. Seriously.
When did he find out he had Asperger's?
You know, to be honest, I'm not really too sure, but I think probably around the same time as me.
Yeah.
But I think it was more on his mom's side, because him and his mom have very similar personalities compared to his dad.
Yeah.
Though, right, at least lately, he's been, you know, looking more like his dad in comparison. You know, because his dad is usually the one who drinks beers a lot. He does too. And it's the one who delves into a lot of really weird, crazy conspiracy things. Tyler really doesn't that much, but, you know, how extremes he gets into things like that, I mean, he kind of has that same type of, like, mentality of, it's just like, oh my god, oh jeez.
You know, a person could go through an entire life and them the thing, they're just not something's wrong with them, they might never know they're Asperger's.
Yeah, kind of like that, because he honestly thought he was just a piece of shit asshole all his life, even though he ain't, you know, I mean, and because it's just like, dude, you're not, I mean, you know, because I know there's times where I feel like I'm just being a douche, but I know I'm definitely not. It's just that, you know, I just, which is,
your Asperger's comes out more in the morning, trying to wake up and different things,
it comes out more in the morning and with high levels of stress. And, I mean, but usually, like, beyond that, it doesn't really come out that much anymore. But because I'm more Asperger than autistic, and Asperger's more social, communicative type of stuff. Yeah. You know, like talking to people more than like autism, which is more than just that. It's like there's also like cognitive functions that are a little weird and stuff. They got really, really specific weird certain mannerisms that they do. And there's just certain behaviors that are, that they just do that are normal people just definitely don't. And to be fair, I definitely know I have some of it, which is why I know I'm a little bit. But I'm not, like, I am far, like, I mean, because there's ones that are, like, super high, there's high-functioning ones and very low-functioning ones. Tyler's, like, in the middle, I'm more on the high end. My dad's kind of on, like, the middle-high end, I would think, because he's definitely functioning, but I wouldn't say as functional as like, like, I would say, like, him and Tyler, for different reasons, are probably on the same level of functionality. Just for different reasons. Because I think, for certain things, like with art and music and stuff like that, Tyler's very diverse in, but,
he's very good, yeah.
Yeah, which also a lot of his mental illness plays into that, too.
But your dad has work for the next... No telling when.
Yeah.
They've been in this chemical plant together.
Pretty much, yeah, because of his boss's moving out shit and everything. Yeah, so I mean, he's and especially when it comes to working out with blueprints, maps, stuff like that, he's really that's really good at that. So I mean, which also partially plays into kind of the mindset, that autistic mindset. But when it comes to other issues, like with Tyler for math or with Dad. Certain technology, let's just be fair, technology, amongst a few other things, like they will be very severely like, very like dumb and type of stuff. Like, I'm not good at math, but I'm very versed in like philosophy, literature and, art and stuff like that, so I have so it's just a different brain with, fielded towards different things, but, in where a lot of, things, at least for today, just aren't as applied towards. You named the stream Short Squirting? Nah, this is first came the monkey, the man, then the gun, sir. I was the only one laying down boundaries, cooking out. Didn't I just have a little conversation about all this shit earlier? I still remember that one night where it was probably 2, 3 a.m. Portland time, and he just walks through the door behind you unannounced, and you're like, okay. It wasn't like 2 or 3 a.m. Portland time. That was like 1:17. That's the last time I seen him. Sorted syndrome is on autism spectrum, high functioning autism. I don't have a sorted syndrome. It's Asperger's. I don't actually know what that one is specifically. I don't deny it's on the spectrum, but it's one I'm not familiar with. Yeah. I just hope a lot what I was going through is just this really big, fat peak of testosterone that his body's pushing in his body for some reason. Because that's what Logan hypothesized, that he's just going through like some hormone burst. And I'm just like, I really hope so, because that would explain a lot of his like fucking kill lust. The kill lust and the fuck lust, that would explain all that. But, I mean, there's been times where he just goes in detail about certain shit. It's just like that. I mean, that's why I just, put red flags on it, honestly. Why I don't think it's just, a hormone spike. I mean, it just really feels more than that, at least for me.
Okay.
Not one to, go on gut reactions usually, but... Right. This one, my gut really says, like, this is more than just...
That is strange. Why would you, first of all, you're bored, and you walk all the way from your mom's house, which is way over there where Walgreens is, and past that a little bit.
A walk, for me or him, would be like 15 minutes. So he left at 1. He left around 1 o'clock. Around either on the dot or just before or just after.
I'm bored. I can go to Andrews. He'll probably be up.
So here's the thing, though. He called me a few times while I'm at work, but I didn't answer because I'm working.
Mm-hmm.
And nothing else besides that. So, and then I think he called me once while I was doing a stream or whatever, but I'm doing that, so I can't really call him. And so it's just like I don't think he hit me up with a text, and if I did, I didn't see it. But even then, it's just like, I haven't been able to hit you up quite yet. Shouldn't that mean, like, since I don't know, it's probably best to not intrude just in case he doesn't want to.
Right,
and then waste my own time. You know, so it's just like, you know, again, that's just part of the autism. It just doesn't think about certain things like that. It doesn't, he doesn't. I don't think he comprehends certain things like that. Like, you know, while my spurgy autismness really does the inverse. I always try to look at the bigger picture of things and look at I'm all like there's just something about my head that always wants to try to do that. So it's also, I guess, why it makes me so like indecisive at times, because like if I get that means then certain things about that. But if I get this, and it can be a very great positive in many ways, but sometimes it can just be a little bit of a bane and a boon. More of a boon, not a bane. It's not a bane of my existence, it's more than that. It's more of my life that's a bane than that. At this point, I'd argue life itself would be. Yeah. Oh, man. We're just making this the Tyler stream now. We're just gonna make it where we just talk about him, mental illness, and all this other shit in a more broader conversation. Is that what we're doing? Is that seriously what's going on now? God damn it. Do I need more butane in this bitch? I don't know if he actually has plans on killing him. That's probably just boasting. To be fair, I don't think he does either. However, there is, for a while now, been the part of me that's just like, if there's like some dude who just happened to have like a patch or some shit that was like pro Antifa, or somebody setting up a flyer that was Antifa or some shit, or even not just Antifa but like Proud Boys, or even like for like something like Hillary Clinton or Biden, like I'm not even kidding. Like there's now at this point, like I got back in my mind that he'll probably aggressively confront the person. I don't think he'll literally, well, I don't know. I don't know if he would literally outright, go from, to just blatantly assaulting the person. But depending on the person, maybe. If they're like outright Antifa, full blown, and putting up flyers and shit, trying to spread their word around or whatever, and he happens to see them, there would be a back of my mind. It's like, do I have to like find a way to stop Tyler from literally just running up and beating this guy's ass for no reason? Like, there would be a back of my mind feeling on that. Because if he does, at that point, pretty much bystanders and me, and if they're quick enough, the cops will be the only ones stopping him from killing the guy. Down in the South, if you punch the wrong person, you catch lead in the face. No law is dangerous. And in a freaky way, Tyler kind of thinks like that. Like, he's straight, like, there's this hypothetical scenario. I actually kept it kind of anonymous in my discussion when I was talking about morality on my ignorism. My last ignorism on morality. And, like, existential nihilism, stuff like that. That example I put in there about, like, put yourself in the wrong, because you feel, deem yourself morally superior because you feel justified killing someone because they harass your girlfriend. So, because he pretty much made that type of excuse. And in fact, he not only doubled down, he would go further and basically try to plot a assassination attempt even after the person was released from prison. And he also wouldn't even care. There was it's just that if he ratted out to the police that he did have a gun in the first place, he would try to kill him, even if in police custody. So I don't know if he is just all talk or just so insanely in this rabbit hole of his mentality that he doesn't legitimately see how fucking honestly retarded he sounds. I'm just, this is kind of part of the reason why I don't think he comprehends certain aspects about social, like certain aspects about society, I guess, overall, because there are just certain things and certain, that just society just, depending on the time, won't deem acceptable. And trying to plot an assassination attempt, regardless of who the fuck did what, I don't think society really deems that as really good unless it's like some high-ranking politician or some shit. Then a lot of people are going to be kind of looking over their shoulder. But if it's just some random schmuck, there, everyone's going to see you as the bad guy, bro. When I lived in Charleston in that flat with 3 other guys, the building manager was gracious enough to lend me one of his pistols while living there because it was in a ghetto dangerous area. That's a really chill dude right there, man. Never went around talking, I'm gonna shoot his ass, you shoot the wrong person, you either end up dead or in jail from the police. And rightfully so, and if you do that, you should have your gun taken away and never have one ever again. Honestly, when it comes to my principle on gun regulation, he's somebody I would never give a gun to. Unless everything went to shit, the world collapsed, and we had to bug out, then I would. But beyond that, because that's not happening, I don't trust him with a gun. Because I don't know what he's going to do with it, and especially considering his mentality as of late, there's an underlying feeling that he might just use it on somebody unconditionally. Or, I guess, or in a harmful, lethal way, because they might happen to be Muslim, Christian, Antifa, or some group he just vehemently hates, and boasts about how we should reopen Auschwitz so we can all send these groups to, sympathizes with that whole aspect of Hitler of oh, we should genocide people. Because that's such a morally superior way of thinking, you moral absolutist. I got the impression he'd fuck a warm Gladstone at high testosterone level, may be too high to deal with. Dude, he got so drunk one time when he was eating on a girl and she didn't like it, he literally thought that she was in the wrong. Dude, it's already too high to deal with as it is. I really, pretty much, what I want to do is get with Logan, honestly. Because I know how he gets with deep talks with friends and shit. I know how he is. You've seen him when he gets in deep with his views and shit. And honestly, me and him have pretty much the same stance on Tyler right now. So I kind of want to get him and I together and just, hang out with Tyler and then just ambush him with this shit. Be like, hey, bro, can we talk to you for a sec? Because there's just certain things about you that we're kind of concerned about, man. Straight up. We should just ambush his ass. I'm probably gonna hit up Logan about that tomorrow. Or, Tuesday. One of those days. Because of his semi-muscular build, is he using steroids? That would explain a lot. He's definitely not using steroids. Tyler using steroids? Dude, that's just how he's built, dude. Like, he's got like a layer of fats, but under that layer of fats is a thick layer of muscle too. And he's also got a beer belly. So, you know, like, he's a fucking bear. That's just his build. He's just got that bear build. He's got that bear bod. So, you know, I definitely want to fuck with him. But at the same time, there's people bigger and beefier than him. Way bigger and beefier. There's even people who might seem more skinnier, but I know can probably kick his ass. Like, you know, because the thing is, as much as Tyler's build, don't say shit about how he fights. And honestly, I don't think Tyler knows how to actually fight. Now, I'm not going to claim I actually know how to, but if I were in a fight, I could probably at least throw a little weight around. But I choose not to get in fights because I don't want to be in a fight in the first place. Like, I'd prefer to avoid shit like that. And I hate being in them, so... the only time, like, the last fight I think I ever literally was in was probably in high school. Like, freshman year or sophomore year. And even then, it was more of, like, shoving them out of the way and then just yelling at them. So, I mean, even then, it wasn't really necessarily a fight. So, you know. Doesn't even matter if someone's bigger and beefier. There's a lot of pieces of lead flying through. That is true. Or if you got like a 12-inch blade that's sharp enough to go gutting a fucking deer. If you got like, I mean, if you got like some like some motherfucker pulling something like this out, it doesn't matter how big you are, you're gonna be gutted like a fish. Now, granted, not everyone's holding something like this. If someone even had half of that, dude, you're gonna be gutted like a fish either way. And Tyler's honestly not fat, really. He's got fat on him, but he's not like fat. He's thick, but not fat. Not at all. So even like a little pocket blade, like yay long, or even yay long, or maybe even like yay long, that'd still fuck him up. In fact, he'd probably be freaking out too much from the pain of that, you know, or at least for the more instantaneous pain, reacting to that, to even fight anymore at that point. And then at that point, he's going to be Varg Vikernes. You'll be Varged. I've never been fighting, I don't desire to. You know how many drugs I have, sell, possess, carry. I don't need that police attention. I just don't need that type of thing happening, period, you know? You know, like, pretty much, I mean, same end reason, you know, different reasonings, but yeah. Like, I just don't, like, I'm just trying to, you know, do my own fucking thing, you know? I want you to go do your own thing. There's no need to fucking fight each other. So, let's just smoke a J or something. Chill out. Let's talk this shit out if, you know, if this shit needs to get settled. You know? And let's just figure this out, man. Let's talk. You know, that's just how I would try to, that's like, I always try to talk down fights as much as I can. And honestly, that has got me more farther than getting into them. Or instigating fights. I mean, it doesn't look like it has, but it has.
I'm fixing to come in.
Aw. Yeah, you annoyed me earlier today because you were all wet, but now you're all soft and clean and stuff. So now I enjoy it. I enjoy all the fluffy cleansiness.
Yes.
Oh, he's much more happier now. He's more energetic.
Yeah, you feel good, don't you?
Yeah, he needs a little trimming though.
I don't know what French kiss. Chad.
Well, bandit. Not
I'll
bandit.
I'll let
fucking
you be
bandit.
the navigator tomorrow.
Oh, I don't know where the fucking address of that place is.
I know the address is.
Okay. Okay, as long as you do.
I put it on GPS. And you found a quick way back though. Now,
Yeah. We'll make sure we'll use that route again. I can't go over discussion about Logan and Tyler stuff. You guys should get a house and fill it with pay-per-view cameras and have 24/7 Animal House living. Robert could be house manager. No! Thank God, no.
What's that?
Joe just said, I can't get over the discussions about Logan, now Tyler stuff. You guys should get a house and fill it with pay-per-view cameras and have a 24/7 Animal House living. Robert could be house manager.
And Robert would do what?
You would be house manager.
Oh, right. Manager, yeah.
God, no. Oh.
Already am.
I mean, yeah, it kind of already is. I'm pretty much like the co. I'm already co-manager at this point.
Yeah.
I trust Robert with a pistol before mental T. And you know what? I would too. And I will put chips on that.
What's that? Trust me, what?
With a gun more than Tyler.
Right, but I never.
At least right now I do. And
that's kind of sad because I never shot a gun in my life.
yeah.
Maybe at 22 back in the day, my dad's old army rifle, but not recently.
Well, I mean, if we get some, I can teach you.
Right,
I mean, I haven't gone shooting much myself, but I know about handling guns and stuff. Because I mean, I'm an enthusiast for them. You know, as much as I ranted about banning them guns, because I'm a commie. Commie want to ban them guns. Honestly, they would not want to ban guns because, like, that's how they started their fucking revolutions in the first place. So, I mean... if anything, they take inspiration to collect arms, as like a lot people, like, or at least conservatively people tend to do. I love Robert. Well, that's great. Who shouldn't? Weird indeed. I don't even know what it was, but it was weird indeed.
Yeah, Dave's been resting today in Extreme Rules. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. Since tomorrow seems like we're gonna have like a little bit of a work day again. Well, at least for me. It's not my rest day tomorrow. That'll probably be Tuesday.
You wake you up about noon? Or so?
11, so then I'll probably be up around it for sure, yeah. That'll be a good idea, yeah. Oh, Robert never hurt anyone. Honestly, though, yeah. Like, I used to say the same for Tyler. Like, honestly, I view him as kind of harmless, but now, like, you were on that same level, but now you just pretty much hold the title as, like, somebody I view as harmless. Like, Stefan is, like, somebody on the same levels. Like, honestly, he's someone I see as harmless. Like, he wouldn't hurt anybody.
I wouldn't hurt anybody. I'd cuss some people out.
Yeah, I mean, you'd cuss people out, but that's, that's harmless, though, you know?
I'm known to throw chairs and everything else around this damn place for...
I mean, well, you know what? I mean, I can't. You know what? I will have to take it back because I have seen times where you have thrown shit around and weren't necessarily harmless.
Me and Matt used to get into it.
God.
My God, I enjoyed that because the
Thank fuck I wasn't doing streams back then. They'd be cringe. Oh God.
Because I got from the.
You get an adrenaline rush.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, adrenaline rush, and then I like that, man. And
You gave in to laugh, rage, anger.
Then one time the fireworks said they didn't like the last year didn't like what Dad was doing, and he went and listened to me. So I kept with the tables over. And Mom later said, "He's kind of scared of you." You know, it pushed. I can, you know.
If pushed, yeah. But honestly, like, I think Matt was the only one who really was kind of the one who pushed, not just you, but just kind of anyone. Just trying to see what would happen.
I'm just glad I'm not like my son, man. Oh man.
There had been certain aspects about his life that made him that way. Certain elements of environment growing up. I'm sure a lot of being in the military and then just in the household it was being raised up. There's just, I mean, it was just all sorts of shit.
Shit. I mean, I'm glad he ain't here.
Yeah. Government can say, if you don't turn in guns within a month, we freeze your bank account 2 months, we suspend your vehicle license. It's easier than you think. Honestly, for real though, like, no one wants their bank accounts frozen. People always ask, I always say, there's no way they take my gun. If the sheriff knocked on your door tomorrow and asked for 4 of them, you'd hand them over with a smile on your face. Because honestly, what do you think they're going to do if you say no? Either they're going to just go in there themselves and find where your safe is, and then, you know, take them themselves, arrest you, and then take them themselves. And if you decide to resist, they're probably going to severely detain you. And if you start lethally resisting, especially with one of the guns, well, you're probably going to have a lot of lead on you. And not just on you, but in you, going through you, you know, and then you're going to have just you, you know, on the floor, on the walls, you know, just pooling out of you. You don't want that, you know. No one wants that. So, yeah, I mean, yeah, it's probably likely that, you know, you're going to turn them in. I mean, to be fair, I do believe there will be a lot of people who would resist that, but way too many people are not going to for that to really make a difference. Honestly, the greatest irony of all is if a Republican president did that. Because there's too many school shootings, we will ban guns. I wonder, dude, what would the reaction from, like, the NRA and, like, the pro-gun Republicans would be? That would be such a weird curveball. I think that would be the craziest political curveball since Trump. If, like, a hypothetical Republican president just outlaws guns, even though they were the ones always piping up about how the Dems are trying to do it, but then because of something, random event, or they just suddenly switch their minds and are just like, nope, we're just gonna ban it now. That would just be the most... Dude, that would, like, I think that would literally break reality. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think there will be a paradox that would legitimately form and then break our timeline, thus forming the infinite timeline. And not only that, but then the universe literally shrinks into one fine point again and then just implodes on itself, thus becoming reborn. What if that's just a cycle? Like, we just literally it's just the universe repeating itself, and then every time it just leads up to the point where the Republicans just flip that one issue that they always held for so long, and then just whoop, it breaks everything. You see how fast Trump backed down after an NRP visit? You see how much he backs down every time anyone pays him a visit when they have a lot of money? Especially if they're overseas, because they go to the Trump Hotel and give him and overpay for the hotel rooms. Long gun concerned Trump for banning bump stocks or restricted sound suppressor legislation. They were like, he turned a commie on us. Oh my god.
if that's their metric of like who's a commie or not, whether they ban gun or ban certain aspects or regulate guns or whatever, then that is very sad.
Part of this.
Do you like guns? Oh, you hate? Oh, you want to minorly regulate them? You're a commie scum. You're a commie.
I mean, I don't think bump stocks were the issue, but I don't necessarily think regulating them is a bad idea. Like, I don't know, anything else, especially when it comes to firearms and firearm accessories and etc. Because there are people who, honestly,
If I power this phone off, it shouldn't use it. It should not use any battery, right?
well, if it's off, it's off. So
Okay. Unless you want to use it.
unless I severely am just like I need to look something up, probably not.
Okay.
So
Doesn't have to use the battery.
well,
Mom made 77 points today, and I made 70 something. But I'm wearing Mom's on this side, and I'm wearing mine on this side. So Dad said to maybe take this down to where we can plug in the thing for it, and maybe have it sit there. We'll see what happens there.
well, if it's plugged in, then it's not going to be getting any points collected or anything.
But I wonder if they know.
I mean, I don't know.
I don't know either. I said, hey, that's pretty good. I'll just wear both of them. You're wearing yours, right? Okay, cool.
Big Bean was going to do so much, and then after the NRA visit, he let go what they could live with. Pretty much whatever didn't hurt the profits the most. Like, what doesn't hurt the profits?
Okay.
What doesn't hurt
I'm going
profits?
to bed. Oh, is this your time or mine?
The one I had ran out, so I'm thinking that was mine.
Okay, later.
I found this one, so
Okay, leave this around. I got this one over here.
yeah. I found this one in that little thing of that little like set of lighters. So yeah.
I hate them lighters.
I know this one's not the great.
Come
I mean,
on.
it works and it's fine, but it's not.
Come on, go to bed. Let's go to bed. Yeah, let's go to bed, honey. Don't get me dizzy. Don't get me dizzy. You feel so soft.
Don't drop him.
And I timed it just right because Deb took Bella down to Mom's today.
Oh.
Okay. Now I don't know if we should go to Oregon City first, into Tualatin. Or Tualatin, then Oregon City. What's the distance? They're both in two different. I mean.
Trying to think. I mean, I don't know. I mean, we could potentially go down to OC to just kind of cut north for that way, but because I know there's different bridges that could go across. I don't know.
Okay, we'll check it.
We'll figure that out before we go.
Yeah. Be an adventure tomorrow.
It'll be an adventure. We're having adventures.
No, let's go to bed.
Sweetie says has to bear. What's see if a song will play if I do this. Yep. Cool. So he's 10-year-old Wheaton female. Damn. There's like 6 or 8, I think. This Christ was infectious. I'm on the sickle. Deadly sun. This is the alteration. Yadam Davidam Razabal. Jack. It's a Baptist. Drake rain from his hand. So I remember the other day that I'm gonna see Manson on August 2nd, so I'll kind of make sure I got that day off of work. I'm pretty sure that's a Friday. Because I've been on a Manson binge the last few days. Thank you very much. Where? Roseland. I think. It's either that or Nemota Center. I'm pretty sure it's going to be Nemota Center. If it's a Roseland, I'm going to be in the very front and taking a lot of pictures. Because I like Manson. Like, I mean, I feel like I'm slowly evolving to TJ levels of like Manson love right now. Like, I didn't appreciate him that often until recently. Used to get a PO someday so we could send gifts and pleasantries. Pleasantries. I know what you're talking about with pleasantries. Hey, I thinking about. Hey, I'm gonna try to see if I get one set up. I love to see him. I've been in love with Manson since middle school. I've heard about him for a while, but I've been kind of off. I've listened to him off and on. I've always enjoyed his music, but never actually have like gotten into it. When you find him from TJ Kirk at the age, he becomes your edgy messiah. See, I was a little different because Rammstein at that time was my edgy messiah. Like, a lot of, like, my edginess came out of, was influenced from Rammstein at that time. It wasn't, Manson that did it for me then, it was Rammstein, so. So I hold a little special heart for Rammstein because of that. I really hope they play this. Like, I hope he plays this song. That'd be amazing. I'm trying to remember when's like the first time I remember like hearing about TJ. I think it might have been 2014, like when I first heard about him. But I didn't really actually become a fan of him until like 2015. Do you know how long he's been around? At least the fucking 90s. What's your favorite song of theirs? Of Manson's? Hold up, I can pull this down. There's Crucifixion in Space, which is, what I have in my ear right now. Which, honestly, it would have to be that, Disposable Teens, or Dope Hat.
Dope Hat goes back into the first album of Manson's, of a portrait of an ordinary family, ordinary American family or something like that. Portrait of an American family. Oh, Rammstein? Oh, fuck. Oh, with that one. That one's tough to choose. I would have to either say America, just to the blatant criticism of America in that one. I love it. I'd have to either say Radio, which is their newer song, Deutschland, which is also a newer song of theirs. There's also Vitamin Tile. That's a very good song. I can't find it on YouTube, or at least a good one. Can't find a good version of that on YouTube because Rammstein is like fucking heavily copyrighted to shit on YouTube, which is stupid. It's just ridiculous, honestly. I fucking hate YouTube. Because, at least in early YouTube, I could find random... Like, how I first found Rammstein was because I was watching an IL-2 Sturmenvik video somebody made, and he had... what song was it? Voltiers and Flammen Sehen. They were playing that song in the background for a video of an IL-2 1946 video. And that's how I initially found Rammstein. And then I've just been listening. And that was like just before I got into middle school. So I've been listening... well, actually, that was just right before I got into 8th grade. So I've been listening to Rammstein since 8th grade. I found Nightwish in 2009, so that was around... So I found Nightwish in 7th grade, so both of those bands were probably... That's since, I hold them so close, it's because I've been listening to them since middle school. Rammstein 1 year... later than Nightwish, but both of them relatively the same time. Though I feel like I've heard Nightwish way earlier than that, but never actually knew who they were until around like middle school when I found one of their songs and recognized it. Moda Center. Yeah, I figured. And honestly, I don't like going to places like the Moda Center for concerts. It's not that, they're not good for sound, but I like being personal with, or me, at least more personal with, the band at a show by being really close and, by having just this big not moshy, but just this big mush of people, just a big glob of people just conglomerated all in one little spot just to see a group or a band or one person or whatever, And then, especially with smaller venues, you have an opportunity to even meet them. Even if you don't got like a VIP ticket per se, so you can meet them after the show. And I've met bands where it's just like, oh, hey, let's go around the corner near their RVs, see if they happen to be out there. And then we'll see them like either smoking a cigarette or having a beer and just drinking or moving shit around or just talking with people. And I've talked with different bands from Europe. I've talked to... Kriegel from Elevati, with Tyler actually, which that was really fucking cool. And at the time, their bagpipist, which I think he left shortly after that tour, and then they got another one. But then, of course, there was a whole different breakup, and then they, other shit happened. But anyway, I talked with Trollfest once. That was really awesome. I met their guitarist. That guy was really cool. And because how was funny how we met him. Tyler's like, man, I really want to meet Trollfest. They were awesome. And he said that literally right next to the guitarist. And he just literally did that with his shoulder. He's like, huh? He's like, hello. He's like, I'm from Trollfest right here. He's like, oh, really? And he's just like, yes. I'm like, I'm the guitarist. Like, he didn't recognize him off the bat. I'm sitting here just laughing because I'm like, dude, he's right there. When he said that, I started to oh my god, he's right there, dude. I just started smiling because even he knew, even the guitarist is like, your friend knows who I am because I'm behind you, so I'm going to poke you and make this fun. So,
Ah, the good times of Tyler when he wasn't going and killing fucklusts. But yeah, I also met Tia. I got a chance to talk with the bassist of that band. I got to talk with Jana from Korpiklani after one show. And that was a really fun conversation because it was like a group of me, him, like 2 other drunk fucks at the show. Tyler and then like one other person who was probably high more than drunk, honestly. And we were all just talking, you know, and he just had a cig and a beer in his hand, just all talking. The dude's short. He's actually, to my height, he's probably more about Ye. I found Nirvana Manson in the summer right after last year in middle school. Loved him in high school. Nice. Yeah. I mean, I've known those bands definitely since then, but never been a big fan until recently. Like, my appreciation for, like, bands and music and artists and genres and music have really expanded in the last couple of years. Like, I was kind of picky about my music, which is why it's like, yeah, I kind of like it, but it's not like this. Because I had that dumb elitist mentality about music where it's like, if it's not a certain thing, it sucks. And then I had a weird phase where I tried to like dubstep for like a couple months in freshman year. I even had this dumb attempt at trying to make some with like GarageBand on my fucking iPod at the time. And God, that I don't even think I have that iPod anymore. So I'm glad that whatever creation that I made with that can never be found ever. Never got posted online. Never was shared with anybody. Nope. In fact, this is like the first time I think I've ever mentioned it outside of just me, to be honest. Like, I'm surprised I even remember even attempting to even do something like that. God, it was bad. Like, I don't even know what I tried to do. Like, I don't know what I was doing. I'm going back at this now, and I'm like, what the fuck was I? It was a low point. That was a low point right there. Like, in the middle of liking, like, Rammstein, Nightwish, and, you know, pretty much nothing else, I'm trying to, like, go to dubstep, too, for some reason. It was just such a stupid fucking weird thing, because freshman year for me was like when literally everybody was into dubstep for some reason. So I just was like, fine, what's the weird hoopla about this? And I was like, okay, this doesn't really sound bad. So I tried to get into it, but I never could and never did and never will. I don't think I've honestly heard any that have been legitimately really good. But, oh man. Oh, speaking of Nirvana, as you were, me, is there anything? Oh, that's, never mind. It's like, there's just this fat thing, what's this even here? It's like, this is, I'll put this back over here, so it doesn't freak out if he thinks something happened to it. I've dabbed briefly in dubstep in middle school, Deadmau5 only. Daft Punk was my favorite band in middle school, and I was into techno electronics in the house, so I briefly looked into it. Yeah, I think everybody had their little phase of trying to look into it, besides a few outliers. Honestly, I probably would be more open to it, but I have not delved into it since fucking high school, so I just don't care. I just don't care to. I don't need to. I don't want to. I already know what I like. I just know it ain't dubstep. Like EDM, like electronical music and stuff, like I'm alright with that. Like I've delved into it. Like rave music and shit, like, you know, I've delved, there's been some hardcore rave music that I'm like, shit, like you put some metal guitars in the background of this, and this actually sound pretty fucking epic. Like, I mean, you know, it's like, you know, sometimes, you know, like, that's the kind of reason why I've, like, opened up my taste in music, is because, like, cause in a way I'm seeing all these different ways where you can add other genres, add other elements of different types of music, you know, elements where I see parallels and similarities. Like, I mean, that's, that's one great thing about being a musician, which I think, for some people, don't really get that. It's just like, hey, even if you don't like overall the song or overall the artist or overall the album or whatever, you can at least, try to point out the appreciations, for the, in bits and pieces of the songs, lyrics, or, the albums that an artist has created, and appreciate those. Right around 2010, 2011, was out the door by 2013. That was around my freshman year, 2010, 2011, 2012. That was my freshman year. So that explains it. Like Manson, I found Nirvana for TJ. I remember that he had the song Something in the Way in a video against Buddhism. Still my favorite song in theirs. Oh, dude, I remember that video of his thing against Buddhism. I found that video once, looking at his archives and shit. Holy shit, man. I found a few old comments of, like, Buddhists just going fucking ham, bro. It's like, holy shit. It's like, this really does explain, a lot of these Buddhist extremist mentalities, because it's there. Which is why I don't exclude them when I call out religion as a fundamental problem, because even they are fundamental wacko nut jobs at times. So the ones who claim to be all peaceful, it's like, I naively was like, yeah, they're not really violent. Yeah, right, dude. Buddhists will go fucking ape shit over certain things, and they will, like, have a blood urge. They will not rest until you basically been sacrificed, on an altar, publicly, on international television. Like, they would just be like, no. Dubstep was weird. I remember it became a big thing, 2011, 2010, but 2013 it's just gone. Yeah, like, it's kind of obscure now at this point. You don't really hear a lot. It's especially gone now. Like, if it wasn't really out the door by 2013, I'd say by 2015, at literally the latest, it was gone. Like, there was literally maybe, like, 1 or 2 people out of, like, 10,000 that were, like, outliers in that scenario. And they probably lost the internet, so they were relying on their archives of dubstep from 2010 to 2011 to listen to, so they didn't realize that there's new shit being played. And people realized how dumb and obsolete that... I mean, what's so cool about... Like, what's so cool about that? Like, that's just... Or... Like, who? Why? Why? That's exceptionally dumb. Like, when it comes to just musicality, that's... Like, there are metal breakdowns that are more simplistic but sound better than that. Buddhism may not have anything in their central text advocating violence, but they will delve into religious tribalism and war on the religious kingdoms, etc. The fact of Chinese Empire, the Tibetans. Oh, yeah. I bet. Ugh. So ridiculous. I feel like I should seriously have, like, do some, like, mushrooms and, like, delve into my trip on the song. Like, if I started to feel my trip happening, I want this song to be playing. I just want to, like, go forth and expand into to the future, bro. Just keep on slipping. Actually, I do kind of want to have just a mild turn down, because I feel like the sound, the decibels are teetering, I feel like. I have a strange suspicion that they're slightly teetering, on that level of YouTube, like, slamming down that hammer, you know what I'm saying? I don't want that, so no thank you. Like, anything on the radio will especially, like, unless it's, like, some obscure ham radio station that somebody's playing, like, their originals for some reason. That's, like, obscure station. Here's my, 2010 single that I did back when I was in high school in my punk show. It's called School Sucks. School sucks. School sucks, and every teacher just says you wanna go fucks. I don't know. Like, it'd just be terrible. It's nowhere near as bad as Christianity or the religion of peace because they're nowhere commanding death, but they have a storied history of it. And continued history of it, too. I mean, yes, it's just not so big. They are definitely a minority when it comes to fundamental issues of religion. But they're still under that title. Because if you are unironically trying to, have a religious system, then you're kind of in this issue. Doesn't mean you're a bad person, but I mean, if you go as far as, willing to kill people over your religious beliefs, then yes, you are. But if you're not, then you yourself aren't necessarily a bad person, but the ideology you spew is. And the mere criticism of you is the fact that you're trying to push it on others. Beyond that, I don't got a problem with you. So make sure that you and the ideology that you believe are kept, separately. Because it makes sense. I don't know. This is a good song from when you eat edible before flight. Oh, dude, that's true too, though. Next time I go flying, I'm going to have to do that. My favorite psilocybin song is Space Cadet. Don't know if you ever heard it. I might have heard it before, but not directly. So I might have to give it a listen. Gotta give a listen, Space Cadet. Knock me down because the corporate system sucks. The fuck's that door just been open this entire... Dude. I've been in the way, but that door's been open this entire time. I could have been yelling and screaming and ranting, and my neighbors could have been hearing me and all this shit, thinking I'm an insane lunatic. Tyler could have just walked in, and I would have not known. He could have snuck in the background, and I would not have known. And that, good God. What the fuck? There's nothing, Heidi Cannon, Central Texas, Theravada Buddhism that can't justify killing off Rohingya, but they still fervently do it. Because something, they're against us. I mean, Steve Miller, Fly Like an Eagle song. Oh, yeah, and that's what I meant. When you were talking about, from the edible flight thing. It makes perfect sense to do so, because flying like an eagle on a plane, but your mind's slipping because you're high on that edible, bro. On the edibles, bro. Whoa. You know what would be like really epic? If someone did like a really super long song, but it was literally just a mixture of like industrial, rock, EDM, fucking blues, punk,
just in like various different intervals. They just like certain elements of those different genres just pop out, but just like make it like some 30-minute. Like someone needs to just do that. I'm out. Night, guys. Make sure you take your trash down before you go to bed, Sonny. It's fucking good, man. Have a good night, bro. But yeah, that'll be but that actually be really fucking cool. Just a song that doesn't adhere to a genre. It is genres. It doesn't adhere to any really. It just is a bunch of different genres, and it's just a song, and it's just music at that point. Gotta be careful when I do edibles before flights. I'm finally back for California. 8 once before flight. Palm Springs to Phoenix. Palm Phoenix to Phoenix. What the fuck. Damn. Yeah. For me, I just gotta make sure that my flights aren't like crazy insane. If they're just like, if I have to like do like 2 different flights, to get to a place, I probably won't really do it or consider it. But if it's just like straight over to one spot, I probably would. I couldn't stop thinking about how I'm in a metal tube flying hundreds of miles per hour in the air. Dude, I think about that when I'm sober. And to me, I get more anxious when I'm sober. But if I have at least a little buzz, then I kind of chill. I can already be chill while flying. But honestly, like, I never really get it much anymore because when I'm up, if I get a window seat especially and I can just kind of look out the window, a certain element about that. Just chill out there, just kind of see and be like, holy shit, that's the earth down there. There's like acres upon acres of farmland down there. And just expansiveness and shit. It's just like, wow. And then just to really see how much earth there is when you're up there. For me, that just ends up being such a big fascination. Others here must be bug ripoffs because I ate 100 milligram gum in California. Expected it to be nothing. I was scared how strong it was. Jeez. That's crazy. Yeah, it's only 100 milligrams. Oh, wait, it's actually 300. Wait, the whole thing is 300. It was meant to be 100 grams per serving, you goof. That's probably what it actually is, dude. They probably do it kind of like how, for example, like this. They have 2 separate things here. Per serving, per container. They probably had it like that. 100 milligrams per serving, and like half a gummy was probably like a serving or some shit. Or like a third of that was probably 100 It could be wrong, but that might have been it. It was in a motel room in California the night I arrived. I don't know, thinking what fault line 10 miles away just goes. Oh, God. Jeez, yeah, California is a little bit more... Honestly, I consider California a little bit more nightmarish geographically, considering more than Portland. Or Oregon, I guess. I mean, Oregon's kind of... the unnervousness about it is the dormancy. But the dormancy also... but we have technology that even with the dormancy, we could potentially consider and see when certain things, may happen, especially very negative, disastrous events. And... I mean, it's literally kind of up in the air whether it's soon or not, whether like a Cascadian fault line explosion will happen, but just the fact that it's up in the air is still unsettling. But we, like, I don't know, man. Oregon's kind of like just basically a milder California right now, all things considered. It's just, oh God. Before I went to California, I thought I was immune to edibles because I never felt them high. I never felt high off them before. Yeah, up here I haven't really have had enough edibles to truly have like gotten like whoa fucked up on them. Because I kind of take it because I have a habit of doing them lightly. I need to just like Dunk it all at once. Oh, bandito. Bow, bow. Little bow, bow, bandito. Womp.
Stupid cat can figure out how to try to turn the doorknob and pull the door open, but he can't figure just push on the door and it will open from the other side.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's like push on the door, it opens from the other side, not from this side. There you go, cat. Can figure out how to get out, but not get in. Get in is easy. Put your paw on the door and push. It opens.
I think just somebody needs to show you that, dude, so you have that knowledge, little boy. Ah.
Yeah, I've showed him that.
And you still can't figure it out because you're a
Even
goofball?
at his level, I just like push, door opens.
And you're still a goofball?
But on the inside,
Still a
you will
goofball about
literally
it?
try to turn the doorknob and pull on it to open the door.
I like as soon as I start rubbing his cheeks and his like back of his head, he kind of starts giving up. But when I stop, he just is like, I want out.
Yeah, Meggers is the worst.
Nah,
She'll
I
come
let
up
you
here, want to get petted, and then she's just all
down. Had a little bounce step on that one.
in ecstasy and just like starts rubbing on you. She'll never jump in your lap though. I wonder what's up with Meggers.
The edible experience was the worst trip on psychedelics I've ever had. Terms paranoid. Damn, son. Oh, crane fly. Crane fly, bro. What's nice about where I live in California because of the weather and because it's California. Yeah. I don't really like the heat per se. I mean, I know that's not all California, but yeah. I don't know. The geographical reaches of Portland make me like staying here because it's just naturally beautiful. Not to say that there are parts of the world that aren't, but I mean, I don't know. I just like being here. If I had to pick anywhere in the U.S., I'd probably just maybe not necessarily like stay in Portland, but like, you know, be around Oregon somewhere. Or maybe like at least in the Pacific Northwest. Stay within the area, or at least in the greater area, in the whole broader region.
Yeah, this part of the country is cool. You can't beat the weather.
I kind of like to be at least relatively near Yellowstone, because even Portland's not relatively that far away from Yellowstone. I mean, it's not like think about it. It was only a 2-day trip to go to Yellowstone. If you
You can get there in a day.
Well, yeah, I mean, technically in a day, but we stopped, you know, in Boise. But honestly, all things considered, if we do take a trip to Yellowstone, we do that. Probably going there or going back, either way.
Yeah, it's like Iceland with more trees.
So, I mean, it's just it's
If you go
its
over the
own
American
different.
Pass, that's like Iceland. And you get down to Yellowstone, and they actually have trees there.
It's a little different. It's definitely a different place geographically speaking, for sure, though. I've had way worse trips from weed edibles than I've ever had from acid or mushrooms. Damn. And I guess...
Hey, here's a mellow spot. As far as weather and everything goes, you don't get a whole lot of bad weather.
Not really.
Although
when it gets
every
hot,
400 years, you get a big volcano.
I mean, when-
that goes off, like Mount St. Helens or something.
I mean, when it gets
Earthquakes that go off every.
I mean, when it gets hot, I mean, the humidity from the rivers builds up in the valley a little bit. At least, around here, because we're right next to a fucking river. But, I mean,
the humidity comes from
atmosphere or moisture in the
we're
atmosphere.
right next to something called an ocean, mainly the Pacific Ocean. So
That, yes, and that also rises around,
that's
which,
where the humidity comes from.
I'm talking about local humidity.
Yeah,
Have you ever been next to the Willamette when it's like
microclimates-
90 and
microclimates will get more close to a river. That happens no matter where you are on the planet.
well, yeah, that's what I mean.
Up here, we're
I'm talking smaller scale. You're thinking too big on your picture of the scenario is a little too big.
we're pretty much away.
Going a
from
little big on the
rivers,
scenario
everything up here,
creations
we're
here,
on
boy.
the hill.
Got a little huge with that little picture we were trying to formulate. It was pretty big. Pretty big.
So we don't have to worry about the tsunami. Earthquake might be a hassle.
What the oh. Just had like a hair just on my thing, and I'm like, what the fuck is like attacking me? It was nothing.
What I hate is how they say, oh, this only happens so many years. Like, the Yellowstone only blows, like, I forget, 620 or 62,000 years.
I mean, because we're just going off of paleoclimatology and paleogeographical, historical, data that we were able to collect. Plus, just predictability of what's going on currently and recent events and going on near the future of what's going on. Like, we can't predict fucking Mother Nature. I mean, we can hypothesize and we can make the closest, with
It goes in
simulations.
cycles and everything's due. This whole planet's due for major disasters across the planet. Like, the Cascadia Fault Zone only has a major earthquake every 400 years ago. The last one was 400 years ago. Yellowstone.
It might not.
Like 2,000 years. The last one that
it just depends.
Like
it might still be
It's
another.
just like, okay, I'm not liking this picture.
Well, it might.
Want to see major disasters happen, but
But we don't for surely know exactly. We will have to, that's why we have, different data whenever we see current activity happening and use that and use that to make
it's not
simulations.
precise, it's just an average.
I'm not saying
Or
size.
past geological evidence, it's just an average. This only happens about every 400 years. Well, when's the last time that happened? 400 years ago. Okay, that makes me kind of nervous.
Well, for me, it's how's it acting now? If it's starting to act up and starting to rumble up, then there would definitely be cause for alarm. But I haven't really read up on it, so I can't comment if it is right now or not.
Not the big earthquake. That happens every 400 years. The last one was 300 years ago. So we have 100 years on that, and about 100 years for when Mount Hood goes off.
Well,
On average.
Well, yeah. Still.
It could be early. They average it.
Well, yeah. Because they have different simulations to figure, with different measurements and different, things that could potentially change and, you know, consider them. And then, you know, they'll be like, oh, if it remains dormant, you know, here's how this will happen. If it has a little bit of activity, here's how that would be like. And here's if it just went off, here's how that'd be like, you know. Like, they'll have, like, different simulations to see, you know, what would happen and, you know, try to see and, you know, compare with at least the current data, especially to try to figure out, you know, what will, you know, happen alongside all that to, you know, get the, you know, data needed to predict what will happen in the near future, especially, or even long term, too. I mean, it'll be the best approximate we can get, but, you know, and especially at least if, and then you use the average.
Safe spot. That's all I know. No matter what happens. If it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't.
I mean, we're in a valley. I mean, you know, like, wouldn't that be like the worst spot to be in a valley?
No, we're on top of a hill.
I mean, on top of a hill inside a fat valley.
Yeah. And so anything that happens will happen either down there or up there.
Well, what's the bottom of the like floor level of the valley in comparison to the top of the hill up here? I mean, that would have to be at least first measurements to be taken, and then on top of that, they will have to.
We don't have to worry about floods.
That's not necessarily what I'm worried about.
But
that's not what I'm necessarily worried about.
Although if the hood goes off and the winds are blowing the wrong direction, then we can get dumped on by tons of ash. Even if they're blowing the right direction, we'll get dumped on by tons of ash. But,
well,
you know, that's
hey, I have a gas mask, so hey, I'm set. I'm not fucking kidding. I'll probably just need to buy more canisters because I have the original fucking canister that came with mine. Soviet area, so it probably has asbestos in it, and no, thank you. So I want to get a more modern one, so they don't have that. Modern ones don't. It's the modern ones is the ones that they kind of regulate to be better.
Wash rag. Get it wet, stick it on your face. Volcanic ash, taken care of.
Yeah, that shit could.
Make sure to rinse it out when you can't breathe through it anymore.
Gotta love it.
It's the way that works. No problemo. I hate these shoes.
Why'd you buy them?
Because they're the only ones left on the shelf.
Was there another shoe place around?
Well, yeah, but I was in Walmart buying a bunch of other crap, and
Oh.
I didn't want to take the time to drive around and go shopping for shoes.
Oh.
I'm not a woman. I go in.
Oh, hey! What does that say? I've gone
I go
to
to Walmart. I need shoes.
If I can't, hey, you want?
Shoe shelves are empty. I'm just
You want?
like, I'll
Hey,
take these. They fit.
hey,
I'm good.
I got a little routine when I get new ones, but that don't make me no fucking woman, bruh. I go cause I go near the mall, you know, the Clax Mall or whatever, and there's a Ross near it. So I first go to the Ross. If there's nothing there, then I'll go to the mall, which is pretty much a walking distance. And then there's like 3 different places I can get shoes at that point. Granted, it's a little more expensive. That's why I'm making my last ditch effort to go. But usually Ross always has something that I can get myself a good hookup on.
I usually just like go into Walmart, get shoes.
I just avoid Walmarts.
Well, true.
I look at the employees there and I feel sad.
This stuff doesn't last as long, but usually they last me a season. And these shoes will last me till fall.
I got these a couple months ago, and they're still just fine. So, I got these at the Foot Locker, and honestly, they're a little low key spendy. Ugh. Honestly, I was a little like, whoa, when I bought them because I didn't see the price tag on them. I saw it, but I was just like, it was the cheapest one out of everything else I was seeing. I'm just like, Jesus Christ. I'm like, God, it's like, I mean, it's like, hey, I ain't gonna lie. I mean, they have quality shoes here, but fuck. Like, why spend like $150 or $180 some dollars on a fucking pair of shoes? I don't get that. Like, 100 is my limit, period, ever. Like, I paid like literally like 99.
No, I'm looking at like, okay, anything more than $20.
Well,
for what I do, you know, it's just like
I know you need some good quality. I mean, you need some good.
This fucking thing creeping out of my freaking.
That's why you need like a good quality, like $80 boot or some shit. That's why I make 100 literally my max limit because I could find like.
Last a couple more months, I'd rather spend $20 twice as often than spend $80 once and have them last twice as much. You know what I'm saying?
Well, we do different things, so I mean, it is fair enough. Because I do not as rigorous shit when it comes to, like, I have to worry about grease and stuff. That's what deteriorates a lot of my shoes, is the grease and all the muck and grossness of the deli and shit.
Yeah,
you got dirt, grime, bullshit, logs, chemical plant equipment shit. Like, you got different random just shit.
Yeah.
you got just everything.
Yeah, you don't have to worry about the grease slipping and falling.
Yeah, I didn't take into account. What the fuck? Get out of here, Cranefly. Seriously? Go away. Shoot. I slap your ass and you just stick around, bitch? Go away. Little fuck.
At least it's not a rat.
True. But yeah, like, one thing I didn't take into consideration.
I can't believe that rat in the
Honestly, one thing I really didn't consider when I was getting these was if they were slip resistant. Because I slip around. I've been slipping a little bit. Not as for.
Oh, I got.
Not often, but more frequently than usual.
I got, which I accidentally stole. I got.
Yeah.
Shoe covers that are the slip resistant, slippery, soapy surface, smooth concrete surface stuff, and you just put them over your shoes.
Where can I find a pair?
I
could probably order some online, honestly.
Somewhere in there, I got a pair.
Shit.
You can use them if you want.
Honestly, I just realized this because I grab my charger during my lunches and usually grab snacks and stuff. So I'm thinking I could probably just pop those too, you know.
Yeah, you just
grab those like every time I'm on lunch.
Big rubber slippers, you just
shit.
Pop them on your feet.
Hey, I mean, until I get my own pair. Honestly, I never thought about that. I know, because I never thought about such a thing existing, which I honestly, I've thought about. I wish there was something like that. I've thought about that before.
And they're required at this one slug temp job.
Ah. Okay.
And I just
brought them home.
A number of times I accidentally wore them home because I forgot to take them off.
Oh, you know.
And then the next day I just wore them back. But one day they didn't. They're just like, okay, we're good. I never went back. And they're somewhere in there.
Oh, well. Well, hey, if you don't...
They look like giant rubber slippers if you see them.
Alright. Well, I need to take a piss anyway real quick. I'm gonna...
The anti-slip so you can walk across soapy, greasy
That would just. I'm gonna have to.
Cement floors
Let's see if
without
they're.
falling
Let's see
down
if they're
'cause they
greasy,
kinda like
soapy,
suction cup.
moppy, grossy, monkey,
Yeah.
deli
Exactly.
resistant.
They stick,
Sweet.
so you don't fall
I'm
down.
gonna fertilize the bush. This is evolution. The smoking, the man, and then the gun. Meow, 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 meow. Meow. Well, it is 1 a.m. And Tyler hasn't walked in yet, so it's probably a good time to wrap it up. But yeah, I need to get food anyway. I have my humble water. Got my humble aqua. My nigga says goes it's good. This is mildly tired, but not like tired. Definitely better than how it was the last couple days. Like the first half of this day, I was kind of a potato, but then like the later half, it kind of started feeling better. Like I didn't really grab anything to eat before I went to work today, so I was just like, I was like zombified most of the day. I was like, no, thank you. But what's it like?
Where the hell did you hide the fly swatter?
Okay, all right.
We were getting a collection of flies out there. So I was going to go at them, but I couldn't find the fly swatter.
Okay, I haven't used it yet, but the last time I saw it was where they had it last time. So
On the counter. I didn't see it on the counter.
well, you check the side of the fridge.
No, it's not back there, eh?
Because that's where we usually put it up there, but...
Actually, oh, I just did. You want dry laundry for tomorrow?
I was just about to be like, don't look in there with a walking out with cigarette. Walking out with a cigarette.
You know what ain't better with my smoke? The farm in Iowa, there's this collection of fly swatters. They're just sitting everywhere. You turn around, there's fly swatter. Works on roaches or flies.
The point of I don't even have the energy. I don't even have the energy. Never mind. I don't even have the energy. Like I'm kind of chill with mobs because they basically don't even have a mouth. A what of some kind?
Some kind of little teeny wasp.
Some teeny wasp thing. Okay. Heck, really.
I'm just looking at the bed.
What else would you? Yeah. Where did you see that movie? No. I didn't see it. You scared them all out. Well, of course I did. I'm the anti. I don't have the heightened animal magnetism where it stretches the bugs. I just have the animal magnetism, which just besides certain ones,
Oh, we had billions of those. I always put it in a line. And then you put it in a line, you didn't have it. I think we had those for like a couple of years since the line got in.
I like how I can hear the same song playing. Hi, Curly. Hi, Curly, buddy. Hey, Curly, you goof. You goofball.
I guess we had the perfect habitat for it until we had grass.
Yeah, I guess so. Alright. Hashtag my wife's son. Hashtag my wife. Well, it is 74 minutes after midnight. Crash this last bowl and ramp it up, I suppose.
Schmegger my mind. Bye. Alright, well. Peace out, everybody. Now, see y'all. See y'all. See y'all, motherfuckers. In that next one, y'all. But deuces.